Okay, I may be gonna get myself in trouble here, but this is at request of my daughters, of which I have five, two sons and five daughters. And I'm usually pretty benign, like most of the Grampfire channel that I do is reading um, books, kid books to my grandkids and anybody else who jumps on farm animals, stuff that happens on the farm. But my daughters were like, Dad, why don't you critique Taylor Swift? And I'm gonna do that, and you listen and then comment on where you think I'm off or where you think I might have a point. But I'll just give you my honest spiel as uh, growing older, later 50s guy in rural America. So I will admit that when Taylor Swift came on the scene, I thought to myself, what an incredible talent. This little gal, I didn't know if she had full pipes or not, like if she could compete with Christina Aguilera or uh, some of the other really strong, heavy hitting vocal talents. Whether I agreed with the music or not, some of them can certainly belt and sing. I mean, obviously, you got Jessie J, you got Adele. Um, People that, whether you like their style of music or not, you have to walk away and go, the girl can sing. That's for sure. So I didn't know that she had that kind of strength, but I didn't need that from her because it was catchy, it was well written, it was smart, it was um, lyrically, she put a hook into both the lyrics and the music, and I liked that about it. And I felt like she was a safe space for my kids, for my grandkids. I felt like there was nothing too polarizing or political or whatever. And whether a celebrity agrees with me or sings out what I believe or not, sings, no pun intended, but whether they do that or not, to me, I'm like, let's take an actor, for instance, and this may, I'm just going to derail just a minute but get back, right back to Taylor. But if I wake up every day and I go somewhere and somebody films me pretending to be somebody else, and then I get paid for that. Today I have to be a grandpa. And then tomorrow I go and do another job where I have to pretend to be an assassin. And then I go do another job where I have to pretend to be a sad guy with cancer. As an actor, at what point do I now become authorized, legitimized, and have the authority to tell the rest of the world what they should think and do? Or am I more qualified because I go and fix pipes as a plumber? Or am I more qualified because I go and work with troubled youth? Or am I more qualified because I'm a politician or because I am a librarian? What professions all of a sudden, because I do them for a while, qualify me to tell the rest of the world, this is how you should think and feel? And I'm going to affect, religious, political, moral aspects. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is with Taylor Swift, at some point she decided tides go in and tides go out, right? So which direction is best? Like, do you like when the tides leave or do you like when the tides come in? It's kind of a preference. However, if there is right and wrong and you have decided you're on one of those and your right is inland, then you probably like when the tides leave. If what you think is right is being on a ship at sea, then you probably like when the tides come in. So she definitely started to make a stand later for things that I didn't know that were felt that were particularly safe like they had been, But some people feel like, hey, if you give me an axe, I'm supposed to chop something. If you give me a venue or a loud opportunity or big opportunity to affect change, I need to do that. I'm responsible to do that. So she did. And I feel like that was her right. And people need to do what they feel like they need to do to affect the changes they see are the right tides. The only thing that scares me about that is the wholesale belief that if they entertain you and can string together lyrics that rhyme and are catchy, all of a sudden you should also align with every decision and every moral stand that they make. I don't agree with that. I don't feel like when I grew up, it was all Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, AC/DC, Journey, Queen, you know, people my age say back when music was great. But there was no part of me that felt like I wanted to emulate my life decisions, my morals and values after them. What scares me a little bit about Taylor is she has such a following that people are like, if you say it, I'll do it. If you vote this way, I'll vote that way. It's a little bit more that if you entertain, it's a world nowadays more like if you entertain me, I will follow you off the cliff or to salvation. But I don't think a celebrity should be able to do either of those to the rank and file general public. They shouldn't be able to lead you off a cliff, nor should we believe they can lead us to salvation. We enjoy the entertainment aspect of what they do. The end. Next song. So this borderline worship of Taylor concerns me a bit. Concerns me a lot. Of anybody. And my kids asked me specifically, my daughter said specifically to talk about Taylor, so that's what I'm doing. So I don't know if y'all out there have similar feelings or have felt something different about it. I would probably very much like her if I met her, but she has definitely decided to be a tide and use her current to affect people. I remember Charles Barkley got really, when he played NBA basketball, one time somebody asked him if when he got angry or pushed somebody around or was caught saying the F word in an interview, if he felt bad because he was a role model. And he said, something to the effect of, I didn't ask to be a role model. Your greatest role models should be your parents. I don't teach your kids. That's your job. And I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that either, but I do remember that. So, Taylor Swift. Lyrically, I think she's super, super impressive. I don't know if she's Bob Dylan-esque yet, maybe. Some people didn't think Bob Dylan was that great. They just thought he had a following because he was a bumpkin who was singing the kind of anti-government, anti-man, anti-war songs, and that he wasn't that talented. But whatever you think, some people put her in that same class. And is she that good? I think to girls between 10 and 35, she is that good. They think so. They say so. For me, I'm not moved so much on the continual repetition of the same subject matter, and this is where you guys are going to blow me up because you're going to say there's so many nuances and differences, and she approaches everything with genius, uniqueness in every song, potentially. But I'm just saying, for the average bear who had to boil down everything into a sentence, and you're going to say you can't do that with her songs. True, but if you were forced to, it would be, I met a guy, it didn't work. Here's why, or here's how I feel about that. And I know that there are a lot of other songs, and it's not that different from her early songs, but they seem to be more general in nature. And I've heard people say that as she got older, her songs didn't become about the general teenage girl in the bleachers. It didn't become about the general girl who loved a guy from a distance. It became about Taylor and her guy, Taylor and her most recent experience. Some people felt like that was a little bit narcissistic, that she started saying, hey, I want you all to buy albums where it's basically my journal in music, my journal that you can tap your foot to. And people thought that was a little narcissistic rather than keeping it a more umbrella generalized. But some of the greatest songs in the world are where people said I had to go in and be super vulnerable. So I'm not dissing on that, but I guess what I'll wrap up and say about Taylor Swift is I would probably like her. I would probably get along with her. I would probably find, if I listened to it more, some of the deeper meaning and some of the things that have been said. However, to me, you have to be in a state of mind to want to go deep into that place with her. And for most guys, that's a place they avoid. It's like they don't even tell their homies, they don't even tell their buddies about all the pain and stuff they're going through with a relationship. They kick each other and push each other and say, suck it up, man. Dude, get a grip up, get a hold of yourself. We're going to the movie. And so she wants to suck you into that and say, look how I felt. Join me in that feeling. So it might always be a thing where not everybody gets on the same page. But anyway, I didn't analyze any lyrics or any song here. My one daughter said, you should, Dad, you should, just to see how funny it is that an old fart like you will try to find the meaning we get out of the songs. Maybe I'll do that one day if there's any interest. But for now, let me know what you think. No matter who you are, and what age, and where you come from, do you share any of that, or are you adamantly opposed? Like, wow, you got that wrong. I'm interested to hear. Thanks. Check out the Grandfire channel if you want to for other things, but this is my first venture into the realm and world of Taylor Swift analytics. So thanks. See you. Bye.